In my previous ReZero video, I talked about how name and memory constitute identity in the story. In the first core of season 4, Subaru goes through an unraveling of identity. At first, it appears that the only culprit is his memory loss, but by the final episode, it becomes apparent that his name, Natsuki Subaru, plays an equally important role in this identity crisis. The following analysis uses information from only the anime up through episode 11 of season 4. While the end of episode 7 makes evident that Subaru has lost his memories, episode 8 is the first full episode with this new, or rather old, I suppose, memoryless Subaru. I think of episodes 8 through 11 as a sort of mini arc, deliberately structured to come full circle. It opens not with a discussion of his lost memories, but rather with a proclamation of his name. This rather benign introduction is then the line we full circle back to in episode 11, and his confident declaration of who he is contrasts with how that same episode ends, on the title card, "Who are you?" So the mini arc moves from an assertion of identity to a breaking of it to finally a reassertion. The pattern goes further. The first thing Subaru asks of Amelia and Beatrice is their names. So the very first scene is an exchange of names, a callback to episode 3 of season 1. And it's this exchange we circle back to at the end, with the roles reversed and Amelia the one initiating it. Throughout this section, Subaru refers to its old self in the third person quite a lot. And there's a splitting of identity between old and new. And so when people think of him as that Natsuki Subaru, there's this sense of alienation. The name is still there and the signifier is still there, but the signified has slipped right out from underneath it. When the people of this world speak of Natsuki Subaru, they speak of the Knight of Amelia, the hero of Pristella, and Subaru really has no idea who that is. That is not him. On the other hand, it also seems to him like he's a psychotic serial killer, which he also certainly does not remember being. He apparently treats Shala as a woman of convenience, strangles Mei Li, and keeps his powers a secret. He is being pulled apart at the seams in two different directions. Some have theorized that this unraveling of identity is Gluttony's goal. One of the original prevailing theories for Subaru's memory loss is that Gluttony attempted to eat Subaru's name and memories both. But due to his name and pre-isekai memories being from a different world, only his post-isekai memories could be taken. Now, with everything we've seen from episode 9 onward, there's probably more going on than just that, but regardless of what the answer to this mystery is, the following is clear. While Gluttony may not have been able to take his name out of the world, they had certainly taken his name out of himself. They had left him as an empty vessel. The nail in the coffin comes from Ram calling him a fake. It must feel so disorienting and isolating for Subaru in this moment. Like he's an anomaly, he doesn't belong in this world. The emotion here reminds me of that scene in Sunny Boy, when the drifting class realizes that they had become copies, and that their real selves are still living out their everyday lives as normal. In the end, Subaru is saved by his name, by the impact he's had on the people around him, by the parts of himself that he's put out there and have now been absorbed by others. It's an inversion of season 1. In the first season, the people around Subaru influence him in ways unknown to them, lost to the power of return by death. But it's those forgotten memories that Subaru carries that in turn inspire Subaru to influence their lives. Now we see the inverse. The final episode is a series of others treating Subaru the way they do because of the bonds he's forged with them, built on memories he no longer remembers. And it's precisely those interactions he cites for the reclamation of his name. So then, what does the reclaiming of a name entail? I mean, name is how others refer to us, so in a sense, it's like trying to live up to the expectations of others. Season 2 explored Subaru's struggles with that concept at length, but it can simultaneously be a great source of power. He chooses to be the man whom Julius trusts, whom Beatrice believes, and whom Echidna forgives. In the end, he chooses not to externalize the person to whom they're talking into someone else. If that person is Natsuki Subaru, then I am Natsuki Subaru. And it's this line that makes Emilia tear up, because in that moment he truly was Natsuki Subaru. That look she gives him of a maiden drowning in love, she's seemingly on the verge of professing her love for him for the first time, and it's to this memoryless Subaru. This scene really resonated with me, that this memoryless Subaru can sway her heart so. It reminds me of Kaiki's famous line from the Monogatari series, that the fake in its attempt to be real is more real than the real thing. Though in this moment I think Subaru just is the real thing. Act as that person, and that person you are after all. It reminds me of a line from a song by Eme called Torches, the first ED of Villain Saga. The line is "do good to be good," and it's a similar idea here. I am Natsuki Subaru, therefore Natsuki Subaru I am. This choice to stand under his name again was propelled by 3 seasons of momentum. In season 2, he struggled under the weight of expectations until he learned to love himself and to rely on those around him. In season 3, he declares his name to the world, choosing to welcome others' placing of expectations upon him. Now in season 4, he declares his name to live up to those expectations, saving himself in the process. Emilia helps him believe he can be Natsuki Subaru, be himself. Their scene together mirrors their conversation back in season 2, where back then, Emilia was the one struggling with her own identity, afraid that taking the trial and recovering her memories would turn her into someone else. She couldn't fathom how Subaru could still love her if the me that you say you love goes away. What Subaru tells her is that the path that she's walked until now will not go away, so no matter what happens, neither will she. And now in season 4, it is precisely the path that Subaru has walked up to this point which brings him back. Just as Emilia had learned to believe in his love for her, Subaru learns to believe in Emilia's love for him. In the end, Subaru asserts that even if she forgets, he will not. And so we go full circle back to the very first loop of season 1. Back then, he was lost and unsure of what to do, but she saved him and in the process gave him identity and purpose. But that loop is forgotten. Emilia has never been able to save Subaru. Now she's saved him once more, given him identity and purpose again, and again in a timeline that doesn't survive. I argued in my last video that ReZero claims you don't need someone else's backstory, their memories, to understand and save them. Season 4 turns that idea inward. You don't need your own past to save yourself.